If you want to support the channel and buy life-improving products, check out the Zyback TV Amazon shop. Link will be in the description.
What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the Parkland shooting incident. This is not something I would normally talk about, but there have been some interesting developments that have happened over the last week with this, and I think they're worth discussing. So to start off, right off the bat, I'm going to give you my opinion. I am very much pro-Second Amendment, still am. I am pro-Second Amendment for its original intent. The original intent of the Second Amendment is to protect against government tyranny. It's the people's check and balance for the government going tyrannical. If you look at the past, if you look back through history, all governments that have gone tyrannical and have gone fucking crazy, what do? They always go for the guns. There's a reason why. The Second Amendment is the people's check and balance to governments gone rogue. That's its entire function of the Second Amendment. That's the only reason it's there, in my opinion. Everything else is just an extra benefit. Hunting, protecting yourself, your property, your family, guns are cool, whatever sort of benefits you like to the Second Amendment, those are extras. The primary function is to protect against government tyranny. And if you think that that is some impossibility, then you are naive. So, that's my opinion on that. I will go ahead and be honest. I am a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to the Second Amendment. I'm very much pro-Second Amendment, but I don't even own a firearm, so I need to work on that myself. So I'm not going to sit here in my glass house and throw stones. You know, I'm part of the problem. I don't own a firearm. I need to work on that shit. So let's talk about the whole shooting situation. So typically, the typical thing has happened here. Big shooting, gun control debate, bada boom, bada boom. People shouldn't be able to own AR-15s, the same old fucking argument over and over and over again. But now there seems to be more of a debate on, should we arm the teachers? And I don't think that we need to government mandate arm the teachers, as in, like, I don't think you should be required as a teacher to be armed. I think there are enough teachers that would willingly arm themselves that it wouldn't be a problem. Just let teachers have their concealed carry in the schools. You don't need to arm the teachers, just allow them to do it. And I know from my experience that I know in Ohio this is legal, like if you can conceal carry as a teacher if you're approved to or something. I don't know about the case for Virginia, but I know for a fact that some of the faculty in my high school were packing. And did I have a problem with that? No. Made me feel safer. So I think that we don't really need to do anything other than just let the teachers arm themselves. I think enough teachers will do it that it'll work itself out. Gun-free zones, it's a meme, man. The idea of a gun-free zone is just hilarious. Like it's unreal. Like that people think that's effective in any capacity. I can't understand it. Another interesting development that's come out of this Parkland shooting is that the police response was horrendous. A lot of people that are anti-gun are very much for the police still having guns. And what happens in a situation like what happened in Parkland? The police were called and they froze up. The response time was bad. The officers that were assigned to deal with the situation froze up. Do you want to be a slave to a government agency and just hope they come and save your ass? Or would you rather have the agency to be able to defend yourself? I know I would rather be able to defend myself than have to rely on some sort of government agency that's gonna, at best case scenario, is gonna take like 5 or 10 minutes to get there. That is crazy to me. Moving on to politics, there's been some interesting political discourse that's happened throughout this event. One thing that I'm not a fan of, and a lot of people seem to think that I'm like some Trump worshiper. Like, if you think Trump is not quite literally Hitler, then you must like worship him. No. Trump does stuff I like, Trump does stuff I don't like, and this is one of the things he's done that I don't particularly like. He has suggested banning bump stocks. Anybody unfamiliar with bump stocks, basically it's a stock that essentially lets the recoil of your AR, typically like an AR-15, the recoil allows you to pull the trigger, so basically the stock is bouncing back and forth and it allows you to fire the gun pretty quickly with wild inaccuracy. It's a very gimmicky device. It's kind of just like a fluky thing that people do at the gun range just to have fun. If you were looking to kill people, that is not the way to do it. There's been one shooting that I can even think of that's involved them, and it probably wasn't that effective if I had to imagine. It's a gimmicky little fun toy, and they're looking to outlaw it for whatever reason. I think this is Trump just trying to. I honestly, I don't think Trump actually gives a fuck about banning bump stocks. I think this is probably just him testing the waters and seeing if this like makes his approval ratings better or worse. I think it hasn't really blown up in his face very much from the pro-gun people, because most people that know about firearms know that bump stocks are just gimmicky pieces of shit that are just like things that people use for fun. Like they're not, nobody uses a bump stock as, like nobody's like, I need this bump stock to defend my home, because it's just not an effective thing. So I think a lot of the pro-gun people are just like, whatever. But a lot of them are like, you know, it's a slippery slope argument. And that's kind of where I fall in. I don't want to see the Second Amendment eroded at all, even if it is something as stupid as bump stocks. I put out a tweet earlier that said the only thing more dumb than bump stocks is banning bump stocks. So not a big fan of that in particular. The thing about bump stocks is they're not particularly complex at all. It's something that can be very easily 3D printed. In fact, you don't even need a fucking bump stock. You can effectively bump fire your gun with your belt loop. Like you can just put the thing in your belt loop and just it'll fire like that. You can go on YouTube and look up belt loop bump fire and just see some guy standing out there in a field just bump fire. Like, what are we gonna make it? Belt loops illegal? I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. It's something that could be very easily 3D printed. And that's another thing people need to think about. 3D printing. There are people that are 3D printing guns, and they're getting pretty freaking good. I know this is something that broke out in like 2011 or something, where there was a few guys out in Texas or whatever that were 3D printing AR-15 bottoms, and they would last like 60 rounds, which is not that much, but apparently that's improved dramatically. So those are plastic guns. Ghost guns are coming, man. They're coming. 3D printing is getting good. People are, getting like metal 3D printers now. I don't know what to say. Like, technology is on the side of liberty in this particular case. So you think you're gonna stop all the guns? Like, it's not gonna. People are gonna make their own ghost guns. I give it 20, 25 years, and you're gonna see mass production of guns in people's homes. But you're not going to stop it. Another interesting development that's happened is the boycott the NRA situation. And this, in my opinion, the boycott the NRA is going to have the Chick-fil-A effect. Chick-fil-A was boycotted because they were accused of being anti-gay. And during this boycott, they had record profits. Chick-fil-A was killing it. That was the best thing that ever happened to them. And the same thing is going to happen to the NRA. These people that are wanting the NRA to be shut down and calling for people to boycott it and pull corporate sponsors, all that's going to do is get people that support the NRA to double down, and it's only going to help them, because these people that are wanting to boycott the NRA have not been supporting the NRA in the first place. A boycott doesn't work if you don't support the product in the first place. And the corporate sponsors that do stick around with the NRA, like FedEx, I believe it's FedEx, that's like, they're like, fuck it, we are pro-gun. People are going to support them. And it's going to be the Chick-fil-A effect all over again. The support is going to outweigh the negatives, particularly when it comes to guns, because many of the people that own firearms are usually pretty wealthy, so they've got more spending power. Anyway, what else we got here? And this is just another pro-gun argument I wrote down on my phone here. Guns are an equalizer. A lot of people, it's like some macho thing where it's like, I don't need a gun to protect myself. Like, you can protect yourself with lethal methods. Bullshit. Like, people, I don't know, people seem to think real life is like some sort of fucking movie. It's not. Guns are a great equalizer. And a lot of my audience is male. And there's a lot of men out there that are probably like, oh, you just gotta take some self-defense classes and learn how to protect yourself, right? Well, that's easy if you're a male. Coming from if I attack you, you might be able to fend me off, right? Maybe you're a tough guy. I'm 6'5", 215 pounds, and I can deadlift close to 500 pounds. Been making some gains. I'm pretty confident that I could kill the vast majority of women being completely unarmed. You know what I can't kill? A woman with a gun. A gun is a great equalizer. Even if I have a firearm and she has a firearm, we're pretty equivalent. In fact, she might even have the advantage because she's a smaller target. So guns are a great equalizer. Everybody, like, a lot of these pro or anti-gun people are, super pro social justice, right? If you want to empower women, let them own firearms. That empowers women. That is the best equalizer I can think of. I go from being able to kill the vast majority of women with my bare hands if I know for a fact they're all unarmed to I'm not even going to attempt it because she might be packing in that purse. Think about it. You want to empower women? Let them own firearms. So anyway, that's all I've got for this. I wanted to talk about it because there's been a few interesting developments about it, but still very much pro-gun. I need to work on getting my own firearm myself. I might really exercise my Second Amendment, get like a Beowulf or something. My dad's got one; they're pretty cool. But I need to get a gun. I feel like a piece of shit for being like as pro Second Amendment as I am and not even owning one. It's kind of bad. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.